Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is in the world where you're watching this. Welcome to Books, Brews and Other Awesomeness. So my name is Tanya and I have been a book and a tea fanatic since I can remember. I've been watching BookTube for about 6 months now. Before that I kind of just talked about books with my friends, read Goodreads. And when I discovered BookTube, it was like, wow, there's this whole universe of people who are also into books. But I have only just discovered TeaTube. And finding a community of people who are as enthusiastic and excited about trying different teas and talking about tea as I am is also really exciting. And I wanted to bring the two passions I have together, along with the occasional other thing. Sometimes I might talk about planners or knitting. These are all things that I really enjoy doing and I'd love to share them with the world. So if you're watching this, you might wonder who I am and why I have this channel going. You might want to know a little bit about me. So I figured I'd record this channel intro to give you a sense of what you can expect from the channel, and also just a little bit of background to see if I'm somebody that you want to watch. So, first up, plans for the channel. My aim is to record and post at least 2 videos a week. The idea is one about books, one about tea. And on top of that, I might do the occasional tea review, book review, something else related to tea or books that occurs to me. I probably won't do any more than 3 a week though, because life, basically. Okay, things you might want to know about me to figure out whether this is a channel for you or not. So first of all, I'm an intersectional feminist. I believe that love is love in all its forms, and I enjoy reading books that have good representation of different ethnicities, different cultures, and different sexualities. That'll turn up in the books I read. So if that's not your jam, there's plenty of other booktubers out there you can watch. Second thing you need to know about me, my comfort sips are black teas, and they are flavoured black teas. In fact, most of what I have drunk for the past 30 years is some form of black tea. And I have mine with milk and sugar. Now that may make me a cultural bohemian in the eyes of a lot of tea tubers. That's fine. I do want to expand my range of teas though. I do have the occasional green, the occasional herbal, the occasional fruit, and I'd like to try more of those so that I'm not just drinking black tea, partly because I like variety and partly because too much black tea does bad things to my iron levels. The tannins in the tea bind with the iron, and I stress drink tea as well, so I can have 6 to 8 cups a day, no problem, very easily. So if I can make some of those not tanniny, not caffeinated teas, that's all the better. Third thing you need to know about me, I think I mentioned earlier, I live in New Zealand. So we are not a state of Australia. We are in fact our own country in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. And I grew up here after being born in the north of England. There's a lot of stuff that I don't have access to here. So I see a lot of tea brands on TeaTube and I look at it and think, those sound so yummy, but they don't actually ship to New Zealand. And if they do, postage costs here, even when we're not in the middle of a pandemic, can be horrendous. And right at the moment, with the toll that COVID is taking on shipping, and lest I sound entitled here, I get it, I understand why the costs have gone up so much, and I get how much privilege I have to be moaning and complaining about postage. If that's the worst thing that is affecting me, I'm doing pretty well. But I placed a planner order a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, whenever Manby had their big warehouse sale. I placed an order with Happy Planner. It was about $100 US, so 160-ish New Zealand dollars. When I got the shipping notification for it, I shipped via a company called UShop. It was 100 New Zealand dollars. So yeah, I'm trying really hard not to order things in from overseas at the moment. And that's not actually a bad way to go at the best of times, but certainly at the moment. A lot of the brands that I see advertised, I'd love to try. The brands I see reviewed, I'd love to try them. But until they ship to New Zealand or until shipping costs come down, buying local seems a little bit more of a realistic plan. Fourth thing to know about me, my favourite comfort read book genres are urban fantasy paranormals. So I love the Dresden Files. That may sound out of character given that I said I'm a feminist, but I don't have the same problems with the books as a lot of people I know do. Paranormal, I love Elizabeth Hunter. I'm trying to think of who else I've read paranormal that I really love recently. I love Alona Andrews, which is more urban fantasy than paranormal, but I still love reading them. Basically, fantasy, urban fantasy, paranormal is one comfort genre. The other is what is technically called romantic suspense, although I tend to call it either pseudo-military or alphabet soup chick porn, because I love the romance, I love the sexy times, and there's something about the action that's really enjoyable too. So those are my two comfort reads, and I keep defaulting back to them, especially if I'm low on energy, low on enthusiasm, low on mental bandwidth. But I try to make sure that they're not all I read. I try to read a little bit of non-fiction. I try to read other genres, and I'm always looking for recommendations. For me, the key thing is I'm very character driven when it comes to reading. So I'll be honest, I've read books and loved them that have plot holes big enough to drive a bus through. I don't care as long as I get along with the characters, as long as I enjoy spending time with the characters. That doesn't mean they need to be perfect. It doesn't mean I need to love everything about them. But it does mean I don't have to feel annoyed at having them take up space in my head. The other thing is, as I mentioned earlier, I'm always looking for good representation of other cultures, minorities, people of colour, and just general as well LGBTQ plus rep. All of those things are added pluses for me in a book. But again, it's got to have characters that I enjoy spending time with. So that's number 4. Number 5 is, in my day job, I'm a freelance editor. I work from home. I mostly work on non-fiction books, although I have done the occasional fiction book. So what that means is that when it comes to writing style, I have quite a high bar. I get really frustrated with typos. So if it hasn't been well edited, I will tend to get twitchy. It's not a snobby thing for me. I'm not going to go out and say this book is crap because it's got typos in it. But for me, I can't enjoy it if I'm constantly being pulled out of the story because of the writing quality. So what that means is that there are a lot of books out there that other people have enjoyed that are just not for me. And that's fine. And in some ways, my business is where books and tea really come together, because I'm editing books and tea is the fuel that my business runs on. So that is 5 things about me. Hopefully it'll give you enough of an overview that you have a sense of whether this is the right channel for you or not. If not, no worries. It's like there are so many other people out there that you could watch. I will not take offense if I am not one of the people that you want to give your time to. If I do sound like somebody you'd enjoy watching, welcome. I am looking forward to connecting with you, as I said, at least twice a week over the next weeks, and we'll just see how the channel goes from there. Looking forward to speaking to you in the next video. Alright, bye now.